everybody. It is Friday, September 19th, and you may or may not know what that means, but it is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. You know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations 52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. And today's show, well, we have a double dose of wrestling on this Saturday. We have both the WWE's brand new out of nowhere pay-per-view Wrestlepalooza, and AEW has All Out. All Out. And we're gonna preview both shows. It's gonna be wild. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. So we are going to start with the smaller of the two shows, WWE's Wrestlepalooza. The WWE did not have an event scheduled for this date. They didn't. And this was made out of the blue to, one, get onto ESPN's new streaming platform, seeing as how that's where the WWE's future pay-per-views will be airing, and two, to directly counter program against AEW and All Out. This was already scheduled for AEW already had All Out scheduled for this date, and WWE decided, hey, you know, this company that we don't consider competition, we are going to directly oppose them to create competition. So we're going to take a look at this show. With all WWE pay-per-views recently, 5 matches on a show that they are really building up. You have essentially 5.5 hours of television per week, and you can only give 5 matches for an event. I'm letting y'all know now, this show's going to start at 8. It's going to be over at 11. They're going to do 5 matches in 3 hours. So let's just get into it. I won't be before you very long because the better show will be happening earlier in the day. But we have probably, my opinion, the match of the night for Wrestlepalooza. It will be none other than Skye versus Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant Women's World Championship. And this match is coming about because Stephanie Vaquer won a battle royal at Evolution to earn a championship match in the future. During that time, Naomi was the Women's World Champion. She had just cashed in and won at Evolution, but we come to find out Naomi is pregnant, so she had to vacate the championship. And the previous Women's World Champion was none other than the GOAT, Skye. And and Stephanie have both wrestled each other twice on Raw, and both matches have not had a direct winner. It is very easy to predict who's going to win this match. It is Stephanie Vaquer. She's going to win because Asuka has been doing this single white female thing, trying to prevent from having any friends besides her and I guess Kyrie. So we're going to get a fantastic match that will once again have interference on Asuka's part, causing to lose, giving Stephanie the win, and and Asuka can go have a great blood feud with Kyrie stuck in the middle. Whose side will she choose? Will she be part of the Sky Pirates? Remember her and they were the Sky Pirates, but then she also was a tag team with Asuka as the Kabuki Warriors. So it's just like, what is this is Sophie's choice for Kyrie, but this is going to be a fun match. This is probably going to be the match of the evening, the best match of the entire night. Then we have Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. This match was made last week, and I like this match because of who I'm going to pick to be the winner. And if you Context clues, ladies and gentlemen. This is coming from Drew just doing his thing. He came back, took out Randy. Him and Randy feuded, had their match, and he wants the title back. More importantly, he's calling Cody a hypocrite. And yes, Cody is kind of a hypocrite, especially when it came to Kevin Owens. So Drew took out Cody, took him out bad too. Claymored him through the announce desk. But Cody is back. The championship is going on the line against Drew, and this should be a fun match. Cody does well with telling stories, so I am going to go with Drew McIntyre to win the championship. He needs to get another championship back. Cody does not need the championship to be relevant. He can always slate himself back in there, so take Drew McIntyre to win here. Then we have the mixed tag team match. CM Punk and the returning AJ Lee teaming with her husband to take on the other husband and wife duo of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. This match probably has the best story out of the 5 matches on the card, and that is because Seth and Punk hate each other. Becky loves her husband, and she's right when she says that Punk is apathetic. He turned his back on the business. You've heard it all before, and his absence was a hurt to the women's division because they were always interrupted with CM Punk chants. And Punk, to his credit, says, "I'm not going to denigrate you. I'm not going to lower you and make you as just a man's husband, because you're more than that. You are literally Becky Lynch. You are the man. You have carried this business on your back. You have main evented pay-per-views. You have main evented WrestleMania." So when Becky helped Seth retain, taking out Punk, it was inevitable that AJ Lee was coming back, and we just did not think AJ Lee was ever going to come back. But here she is. The question is, how will she look in the ring? Now, she wrestled at a time where the competition is not as good as it is now. That is very, very much true. So can she compete with someone on the same level as Becky Lynch? And this is a mixed tag team match, which means the men wrestle the men, the women wrestle the women. There are no ifs, ands, or buts in between. Yes, they're probably a little physical with each other, but that's what's going down. AJ Lee returns. It's her first match back. I can see this feud continuing. Take Punk and AJ Lee to win, but it is not over between these grouping of people. Then we have the Usos taking on the Vision. And look, yes, the Usos are back together. Yes, it's good to have them there, but Seth is involved in another match. And for the last couple of weeks, since Paul Heyman has been out, the Bronson and Bron Breaker have been just off the leash. And with Seth preoccupied with CM Punk and AJ, the Vision, their 2 other members, can do whatever the hell they please. The intriguing part of the story is every week Jay is getting closer and closer to becoming what Roman Reigns used to be. And a heel turn seems like it's on the horizon for Jay Uso. This is going to be a fantastic match, but you got to take the Vision to win here. And lastly, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. This match is actually opening the card, I believe. But this is very, very simple. John Cena retirement tour. Brock doesn't speak. He just wants to beat the hell out of Cena. That's what we're going to do here. Will it be as good as Cena's last 2 matches? Because Cena's last 2 matches against Cena with not Seth Rollins, Cody and Logan Paul were fantastic, but him and Brock also have a special kind of chemistry. So I am intrigued to see how this is going to go. I kind of wish there was a stipulation for this match, but that's all right. I can see the winner going either way. So I'm actually going to go with, since it's opening the show and Cena has rarely lost, I'm going to take Brock Lesnar winning the match here to defeat John Cena. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Wrestlepalooza. Once again, let's go over the card I got from top to bottom where we ended up. I got Brock beating Cena. I got The Vision beating the Usos. I have Punk and AJ beating Seth and Becky. I have Drew McIntyre defeating Cody to become the new WWE champion. And I have Stephanie Vaquer defeating Io Skye to become the new Women's World Champion. Now, we move over to earlier in the day, All Out. All Out was originally supposed to come on at 8 o'clock. But the WWE went out of the way to directly counter-program them. So they moved the show up to 3 p.m. This is the 7th All Out. It is an annual event, one of their bigger pay-per-views, and you can go with All Out, All In, Forbidden Door, and Revolution, and Full Gear. Those are like their big 5. Then in between you have what do you have? You have Wrestle Dream, Dynasty, Worlds, and I believe they run 8 events per year. So, as you know, we got to look at last year's card. So, how did All Out 2024 look? On the pre-show, we had 4 matches. We had the Acclaimed defeat the Iron Savages. Hologram, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes defeated the Premier Athletes. The Bang Bang Gang team of Austin and Colton Gunn and Juice Robinson defeated the Dark Order. And the Undisputed Kingdom, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, and Roderick Strong defeated the Beast Mortos and Shane Taylor Promotions, and they also defeated Top Flight. So, yeah, it's a lot of tag, like no one-on-one matches. So, and then on the main card, we opened up with MJF defeating Daniel Garcia, the Young Bucks defeating the Blackpool Combat Club to retain the World Tag Team Championship. The BCC team was Claudio and Wheeler. Will Ospreay defeated Pac to retain the International Championship. Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, in my opinion, had the match of the evening in their Chicago Street Fight, an absolutely fantastic match. Okada defeated Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Takeshita to retain the Continental Championship. Mercedes Moné defeated Hikaru Shida to retain the TBS Championship. Camille was banned from ringside. Bryan Danielson defeated Jack Perry to retain the World Championship. And okay, Willow and Chris was great, but Hangman defeated Swerve in their Lights Out Steel Cage match, which is just a fantastic show, bookended by, in my opinion, the Chicago Street Fight and the Steel Cage match. Those definitely were the 2 best matches on the card. So we move over to All Out 2025. This is taking place in Toronto, Canada at the Scotiabank Arena. This is going to be a fun show because AEW rarely, if ever, disappoints. So we have 30 matches again, with 3 on the pre-show, which will be the tailgate. Remember, there is college football going down, but you pick and choose. So first we have an 8-woman tornado tailgate. Bro, it's an 8-woman tornado tag match, and these women have been beating the hell out of each other for a few months now. So we have the team of Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata, and my wifey Willow Nightingale taking on Mega Bayne, Penelope Ford, and the 2 of the 3 members of the Triangle of Madness, Julia Hart and Skye Blue. This is going to be a fun match, and usually in these matches the heels win. Megan Bayne usually gets the W here, although Dekla got the win in the last match. It's hard to predict a winner here. Because you gotta, at some point we have to get the Blood and Guts match, or we have to get the women's tag team titles. We have to get something. I'm going to need Tony Khan to pick, but I am going to actually go with the faces to win here: Harley, Mina, Aminata, and Willow. Now, then we have Dan Garcia versus Katsuyori Shibata. Round 3. They are 1-1 against each other. Dan Garcia is now part of the Death Riders, and Shibata is Shibata. So essentially, these dudes are going to have themselves a wrestling match, and Dan Garcia needs to prove himself, and who better to do that against than the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata. This is pretty much, I think, is easy to predict, just because Dan Garcia is new. Shibata doesn't need to win here. I want to take Dan Garcia to win because the following match is the Ops randomly taking on Anthony Henry and JD Drake, the Workhorsemen, and Joe and Hobbs are going to win that match. They're not, so the Ops aren't going to go two for two. in their pre-show matches, so it's going to go 1-1. So take Garcia to win, and then take the Ops to win their match. So then we move over to the main card. We have our opening contest, which Tony Khan said the opening match will be the reunited Adam Copeland and Christian Cage to take on FTR in a battle of two of the greatest tag teams of all time. Yes, two of the greatest tag teams of all time. This essentially stems from Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian Cage reuniting, putting their differences aside, as FTR tried to murder, death kill Adam Copeland in the middle of the ring. And Christian has his back. He's still an asshole, still wants to talk about your dead father, but there are no better partners to have, dueling partners in the ring to have than the FTR, who are one of, if not the greatest tag team today. This is going to be such a fun match. Look, FTR is not going to win this match. Edge and Christian are reuniting in their hometown. We just have to leave it at that. Like, they're reuniting in the hometown, so they're clearly, definitely going to win. So then we have a fatal 4-way ladder match for the World Tag Team Championship, as Brodito will be defending against the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and the Don Callis family members of Hachiseto and Josh Alexander. And I like that this is a showcase match for Brodito. AEW doesn't do a lot of ladder matches, which is good, so they feel special, just like they don't do a lot of steel cage matches, so they feel special. So this is going to be a car crash, and I think it helps to have the technical specialists in there like Hachiseto. You have your usual high flyers and Jet Speed. You have the veterans and the Young Bucks, and then you have probably the Wrestler of the Year in Bandito. And of course, it's always great to have a Hoss in a ladder match, and that's where Brody King fits in. I could see Brodito losing and getting the belts back on the Young Bucks, but I think it's too soon to not only take the belts off Brodito, because I don't think they're going to have like a super long reign. I also don't think the belts should be back on the Young Bucks this soon. So I'm going to go with Brodito to retain here. Then we have Eddie Kingston and Big Bill. This is the most random match ever. I actually don't even think this match should be on the card. I would have much rather this match be the main event of a Dynamite or a Collision, because the pop would be not to say that pop for returning Eddie Kingston won't be great in Toronto, because Eddie Kingston is beloved in this industry. He's beloved by the fans, but I just think like this could get overshadowed because of everything else on the card. And Big Bill's been great. I just think Eddie Kingston should get the spotlight on his return on like a Dynamite or Collision. But that being said, Eddie Kingston is winning this match. I would not be shocked if he loses, but Eddie Kingston is winning this match. I go either way. Then we have the 3-way match for the AEW Unified Championship. Intercontinental is right there. Okada's defending against Takeshita and Mascara Dorado, who both won qualifying matches. They all won qualifying matches. Get here. Mascara Dorado's probably here to take the pin, because the real money is in Okada versus Takeshita. Like, it's very obvious that Takeshita will be leaving the Don Callis family, becoming a new face with Jay White and Adam Cole and Ospreay and Swerve and even Orange Cassidy all being out. You need new faces, and the fans really want to get behind Konosuke Takeshita. I just don't see him winning this match here. I do see him eventually defeating Okada for the championship. I just don't see it happening here. Okada's going to win this match. He's walking out as the champion, but I don't want to treat Mascara Dorado as an afterthought, because he's a fantastic wrestler. He's going to do some great stuff here. But the real story here in this match is Okada versus Takeshita. So take Okada to win here, but we are not done between these two. Then we have the tables and thumbtacks match. Mark Briscoe versus MJF. And like I said earlier, with some of the top faces being out, people are going to be elevated up the card. Ricochet is going to be elevated. And now we see here, Mark Briscoe is elevated. He's got to win, quote unquote, the big one, according to Max. Max still has his contract for a world championship. And him and Mark Briscoe have been getting very, very heated. This is going to be a very, very brutal match. This might be the most brutal match out of everything on the card, next to the coffin match, which we'll get into. But I like Mark Briscoe to win this match here, just because I think MJF is going to take some time away and go do some other things and then come back later. But get Mark Briscoe this win. Let this guy be great. Then we have the coffin match. Jon Moxley, Darby Allin. This is essentially the culmination of the Death Rider storyline that started with them trying to choke out Bryan Danielson. It was always about Darby. This is his story. Everybody that came in between, Cope and Jay White and Swerve and Ospreay and Orange Cassidy. This has always been about Darby Allin. This was always going to end with Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley. I believe this is the second or third coffin match in AEW, and they've all featured Darby Allin. And this is going to be a fun match. This is going to be a brutal match. This is going to be a bloody match because, well, that is what these people do here. Mox and Darby are going to beat the holy hell out of each other, and Darby's going to win. Darby's going to win because the story has always been elevating everybody at the expense of the Death Riders. Then we have Mercedes Moné defending the TBS championship against Riho. This is the second time of them fighting against each other. Riho just came back, and she got a W in the tag match. She got the W against Robert Renegade. There's no Alex Windsor here. He's probably off with Ospreay, resting over him, and Windsor was a great foil for Mercedes. Riho was a great foil for Mercedes. Mercedes is winning this match. I love Riho. She's not winning here. Non-belts Moné is going to continue to be non-belts Moné until she gets to that number 10. This is going to be a really good match. I think Riho has finally worked off the ring rust, and her and Mercedes are going to have a fantastic match. Then we have the trios match between the Hurt Syndicate taking on Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. And this all stems from the Hurt Syndicate punking Ricochet, embarrassing Ricochet, and making him look like a fool. And he didn't like that. So him and the Gates of Agony actually caused the Hurt Syndicate to lose the tag team championships at Forbidden Door and at All In. So here we are. And the law of opposite momentum says the Ricochet and the Gates of Agony should win because they got punked on September to Remember episode of Dynamite. They got punked hard, so they should win. I just don't think they will win because the Hurt Syndicate just always wins. But there's a lot of meat left on the bones for this match. Even though the Hurt Syndicate and Gates of Agony have already had one tag match, there's more things they can do here. I want to pick Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. I really, really want to. I just don't see them winning. I ultimately see them winning the feud. I just don't see them winning this match. So take the Hurt Syndicate to win here. Then we have the AEW Women's World Championship being defended in a fatal 4-way match. Timeless Toni Storm defending the championship against Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Thekla. And there are a lot of moving parts here. Jamie has made it known she has not forgotten what Toni Storm did to her. Toni Storm at one point put Jamie Hayter on the shelf when she was part of the Outcasts, right? And Jamie will always have receipts. And even though Toni is beloved now, she's got to face with the facts to what she did. Then you have Thekla. She's the wild card here, and I think it's too soon to put the championship on her. I like where they're going with her, and we're building the Triangle of Madness, but it's too soon to put the belt on Thekla. I think the winner will be Chris Statlander. They're really pushing Chris. They're really, 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 really pushing Chris. And I think you can do this match and spin Tony and Jamie out, or even Jamie and Thekla out because they got to finish their stuff, and then move over to Chris and Tony. I think Chris wins with the help of Willow and Marina Shafir, because the Death Riders have been trying to recruit her and been helping her out, giving her advice and making her look good. And I think that ultimately the Chickas will come home to roost. So I like Chris Statlander to win the match here, become your new AEW Women's World Champion. And in the main event of the evening, Hangman Adam Page will be defending the AEW Men's World Championship against Kyle Fletcher. If any member of the Don Callis family interferes, Fletcher will be disqualified and stripped of the TNT Championship. This is a showcase match for Kyle Fletcher. Even though he's had plenty of showcase matches, you're now in the main event going up against the world champion. Tony Khan sees a lot in you, Kyle Fletcher. It is time for you to step up, and you've done that before. You've answered the call, and you're going against the main character of AEW. This is going to be a good match. It's going to be a fun match. It's going to be a long match. Kyle Fletcher has always been able to back it up in the ring, but Hangman's not losing the belt this soon. The Don Callis family will interfere because AEW referees are very, very fucking stupid. But we're not done. Something's got to come after this match, and some storyline wise, I just don't know what, but I do like Hangman Adam Page to win here, but Kyle Fletcher will come out of this match looking more like a star than he already is. So one more time as we go over the card, we take a look. On the pre-show, I've got the face women's team of Harley, Mina, Queen, Aminata, Willow, Nightingale defeating Mega Bayne, Penelope Ford, and the Triangle of Madness and the Tornado Tag Brawl. I got Daniel Garcia defeating Katsuyori Shibata, and I got the Ops defeating the Work Horsemen. I've got on the main card Cope and Christian defeating FTR. I have Brodito retaining the Tag Team Championships in the Fatal 4-Way Ladder match. I've got Eddie Kingston returning, defeating Big Bill. Okada retaining the Unified Championship. I have Mark Briscoe defeating MJF. Darby Allin defeating John Moxley in the Coffin match. Mercedes Moné defeating Riho to retain the TBS Championship. The Hurt Syndicate defeating Ricochet in the Gates of Agony. I have Chris Statlander winning the AEW Women's World Championship. And I have Hangman Adam Page defeating Kyle Fletcher to retain the AEW World Championship. It's going to be a fun Saturday for wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not doing anything. The pre-show for All Out starts at 2 p.m. So from 2 p.m. to pretty much 11 at night, it's just all wrestling for me. I cannot wait. Look out for what just happens for both shows coming on that weekend. But this is going to be a good show. That is our show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm done. I'm ready. Look on the screen what we got coming up, and don't forget to check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And as always, Anna J, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Priscilla Kelly, Bailey, and Isla Dawn. Holla at your boy. Peace.